Well, what a fantastic morning. I've really enjoyed being here, and my only regret is that I didn't come a little bit earlier. So a big congratulations to the team at Brisbane Marketing for putting on what is a really useful and informative event. So I was also particularly inspired by Bernadette this morning with Flavour Creations. It's that innovation that Australian companies are so good at and solving problems. And I just really think that that's what I see is that's what our consumers on our platforms want. So I really enjoyed that. We're all pretty buzzed, our local team here at Alibaba. We had Jack Ma in town over the weekend to open our office. But there's one thing that he said during his speech on Saturday that really stuck with me. He said, Australia and New Zealand are the next gold mines because the new gold is clean air, great soil, great produce, and I think the Southeast Queensland region is in such a terrific position to capitalise on that. So it's me standing between you and lunch, so it's always the hardest speaking slot, but I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about what Alibaba is in the 15 minutes I have, talk a bit about what our focus is here in Australia, and then also talk a little bit about just a couple of case studies on some food promotions that we've run here in Australia. So just to introduce the company a little bit, so Alibaba was founded in Jack Ma's apartment 17 years ago with a really simple mission to make it easy to do business anywhere. And over that time, our mission has not changed. We've always been focused on enabling business to trade and connect with one another. We don't hold inventory for the large part. We really are a platform that connects businesses to consumers and other businesses. When Jack started Alibaba 17 years ago, there was so little internet infrastructure in China. It took about 3 minutes to load a web page. So it was also his vision to actually build and help develop the internet infrastructure in that country. And the other vision is for it to have a company that lasts for 102 years. So lots of people are like, why 102 years? Why not 100 years? So Jack's vision is we were founded in 1999. That's 1 year, 100 years this century, and one more year in the next century. So we would be an e-commerce company spanning three centuries. So look, a lot of people think Alibaba is Alibaba.com. Alibaba.com is a very small part of the broader Alibaba ecosystem. So we have about 40 to 50 businesses and brands underneath the group, and we call ourselves an e-commerce ecosystem where all these different parts talk to each other across logistics, payments, e-commerce, cloud computing, and also digital entertainment and marketing for brands. So maybe just to give you a little bit of a quick overview around what some of these are. So our core e-commerce platforms in the top left-hand corner. So Alibaba.com and 1688.com are our two B2B platforms. Alibaba.com is our B2B platform globally. You can sell to supermarkets in Spain as Barnabana. And then 1688.com is within China. And that opened up to foreign brands about 18 months ago. There's a big online to offline component with 1688. A lot of the buyers on there take those products and then they go into community stores or convenience stores. Tmall and Tmall Global are our two business-to-consumer brands, where brands set up a flagship store or a shop front within the mall and sell to consumers directly. The difference between Tmall and Tmall Global is Tmall, you need to be registered in China, you need to have a Chinese bank account, you need to have all your IP filed in China, and Tmall Global or Tmall.hk is cross-border e-commerce. So you're paid in AUD and your products go either through bonded warehouses in free trade zones or through Hong Kong. We have another B2C platform that we acquired recently called Lazada. It is the largest e-commerce platform across the Southeast Asian market. And what we're trying to do over the coming months is when an Australian brand comes to us and we get them on Tmall, we're trying to get them into that Southeast Asian market as well. And that's complemented also by an investment we have in a company called Paytm in India, which is one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the Indian market. And just one last business is also B2C, is AliExpress. That is our consumer brand where consumers outside of China can buy products directly from Chinese manufacturers. And then last but not least is our C2C platform, which was founded when eBay was entering the China market, Taobao. Taobao is the largest platform within the group in terms of the number of consumers. So there are kind of core e-commerce platforms. We also have a range of digital media solutions. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but Youku is China's YouTube. It is the largest video platform in China. We receive 800 million video views a day, 550 million users. And then we also have a range of other entertainment businesses to stream live video. We have a film production company that works with Steven Spielberg's Filmhouse, and also a browser which is particularly popular in India. And then we have some local services. So LME is a little bit like your Deliveroo. Ali Trip is a little bit like your Expedia. We just had I'm up here because we had the head of our travel business, Ali Trip, up in Brisbane. So they're the consumer-facing platforms. That's powered by a whole range of infrastructure. So Alipay is our, or Zhifubao in Chinese, is our payment platform. It's used by both online, integrated into websites, and offline payments with retailers that scan QR codes. That's also used as a marketing tool by brands who can send push notifications to customers when they arrive in Australia. So we've got about 1,000 Australian retailers now accepting Alipay payments from Chinese tourists. Sainia Logistics is the logistics arm of the company, and what it does is use big data to help smooth out the delivery of packages. We don't do last mile delivery. We invest in the top end, and then we have a consortium of delivery partners in China and around the world, including Australia Post, who work with us. And then finally, Alibaba Cloud is kind of the fuel behind the whole ecosystem. It's the third largest cloud computing provider in the world after Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. So that's the ecosystem. I know that's probably a lot to take in. I've only been with Alibaba for less than a year, so this slide was particularly useful for me though when I started. So what we are is also a social commerce platform. So it's a place where you can list your products. It's a place where consumers can gather and connect with one another to share feedback, review products. But it's also an amazing place to actually market your products. So on the far right is a Chinese celebrity, probably the equivalent of China's Kim Kardashian. Her name's Angela Baby, and Maybelline employed her to do a live video trying out a new lip gloss. So they had 5 million views of that live video, and they sold 10,000 units of the lipstick. And we're doing a lot of live video. Live video is just really where things are at in China with celebrities and key opinion leaders to get engaged in products. So we run a shopping festival called Double 11. It's the largest shopping festival in the world. It's bigger than Black Friday and Cyber Monday in the US combined, and this year we did $17.8 billion US in a single day. And we bring in a whole range of celebrities and different people. I think last year we had Scarlett Johansson and Kobe Bryant and the Victoria and David Beckham, and we basically, that's where a lot of brands are really focused on driving their sales, driving awareness of their products and building those up. I won't go into those. So why are we here in Australia? So as you may have read, we're opening, we opened our office on Saturday. Our vision to 2026 is to have 2 billion consumers on the platform, served by tens of millions of merchants around the world. So Alibaba believes that the growth in consumption will come from developing countries, so China, India, Southeast Asia, Russia, but the growth in merchants and the demand from products is going to come from developed ones. So we're focused, we see Australia as a merchant market, not a consumer market. We're focused on North America, Europe, Korea, Japan, and Australia and New Zealand. So it's a really exciting time, and we're seeing very strong growth across our platforms. So So as I said, we've opened our office. We have a team of 8. It has been busy, and we are going to bring on some more staff in the coming months. But what we're really trying to do here is connect with brands and merchants and educate them on how to use the platform. We already have more than 1,300 Australian brands selling on our Tmall and Tmall Global platforms. And another 2.7 million Alibaba.com accounts here in Australia on the B2B side. So we're really seeing a lot of growth. I think a lot of the categories that are selling very well from Australia through our platforms are well known. It's the health and wellness, nutrition. We do a lot of packaged foods, which is why I wanted to come today. Obviously, the nutraceutical side is a big area for us. But what we're seeing now is everything maturing. We're seeing a diversification in what Chinese consumers want and what countries they want them from. We're seeing massive growth in Australian wine to China right now. We're seeing a lot of interest, and we're doing more and more in fresh food to China. We're also seeing even some kind of niche fashion designers and other products do well. So we're really seeing the range of products that we're selling on the platform diversifying. So if you're a brand, how do you get on the platform? That's the first question that I'm asked is, okay, sounds great. Yeah, you're big, all good. Where do I start? Where do I sign up? So our B2B marketplaces, as I mentioned, Alibaba.com is English language interface. It's very easy to use. It's not the main platform for where you can sell into China. It's much better as a platform to sell everywhere else. So Barnaban, who you heard from earlier, they're selling to 13 countries around the world. They sold to Mongolia and Spain and a range of other countries. 1688.com is a little bit more complex. You need to have your IP registered in China. You need to work through what we call a TP, or third party, which is a third-party service provider who helps manage the interface on the platform for you. And that TP you really need for most of our Chinese language most of our Chinese platforms that are Chinese language interfaces. We do have a direct import business. When we see like SMEs, they have a great product, but they're not quite ready to go into China. We do have a purchasing arm of Alibaba which buys products wholesale and then sells them on the platform ourselves. It's not really the business we want to be in. We want to be the enabler, but occasionally there are instances where we do direct purchasing. Taobao Global is for primarily small Chinese exporters and importers and daigous who buy products in Australia and sell them onto Taobao. There's lots of ways to engage with daigous, often through WeChat or other social media apps. Tmall Fresh is the fresh food business. I'll talk about that a little bit in a second. And then for Tmall Global, we're generally looking for larger brands to open flagship stores that have a minimum of 20 to 30 SKUs that have kind of a long-term China strategy. But if you're a SME, you can go into what's called an umbrella store on Tmall Global, which is like a retailer within a retailer. So Australia Post, Jessica Rudd from Jessica's Suitcase, Chemist Warehouse, they have umbrella stores, and you can list your products through their stores. So that's the platforms. So we've done a few fresh food promotions, and these are not core businesses for us right now, but they're really interesting ways in which we're kind of engaging consumers and getting fresh Australian product to market. So we worked with Brolos, or the Geraldton Fishermen's Cooperative in WA, where we took a group of Chinese students out on a boat. We caught a lobster and live streamed the whole thing, and then that lobster was actually auctioned off on the platform. I think it sold for about $400. It was a very expensive lobster, but it was they just did one lobster, but they wanted to raise their brand awareness and understanding of Australian lobster, and now they're looking at pathways to market with us. We also worked to export Calypso mangoes to to China rather. So through our Mr. Fresh platform, or Tmall Fresh, they look after all the import into China and all the customs clearance, and we do a pre-sale model where we list the mangoes, do some sort of campaign. We'll say your mangoes arrive in 12 days. We might sell 10,000 boxes of mangoes, and then all of those are shipped out to China and to the consumers. We've also done New Zealand oysters, where there were lots of concerns around the cold chain, which is developing very quickly in China, but we actually had a device on the top of the box of oysters, and the consumer could track on their mobile phone the temperature of the box from when it left New Zealand to when it reached them in China. So as I said, we've opened our office. It's very difficult to talk too much about Alibaba in 15 minutes, but we do have a team here. We're really excited about the opportunities in this market. We see a lot of potential for Australian businesses, and we're looking forward to getting up to Queensland much more often, because I've really seen over the last few days that there's a lot of interest and people are really looking for new opportunities. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.